Today's adventure takes place in downtown San Antonio, where we're just going to enjoy ourselves and explore this fine city, and of course, the Alamo. Hello my friends, Mr. Nomad Ben here. So today's adventure, like I said earlier, we're in downtown San Antonio, Texas. I am super excited for this particular vlog. We're just going to enjoy the day today and just explore San Antonio. I'm super excited to see the Alamo and check out some cool American history that happened in the great state of Texas. And just anything else in between, I'm bringing you alongside with me today. And here we go.
It's all about where you've been, Nomad Ben. Tell us all about the finer points of living in your traveling. Food, beer, history, nature quest. Every corner of this long to the great Midwest. Tell us all about where you've been, Nomad Ben.
Our first stop today, we're stopping at Tierra Cafe Bakery. Greeted by this fine gentleman here with his rooster. And then we got a woman with a dove in her hand. And of course the filming of this is during Christmas time. So Feliz Navidad, my friends. Now this gentleman here with his donkey. So the entrance of this bakery, you're greeted by Jesus and Mary. All types of liquids here. This is really cool. We got this place decked out for Christmas in here. Look at that. All that merchandise. Lots of merchandise. This is a very vloggable restaurant. I'm not gonna vlog everything in here, but got this really awesome mural here. But they really take their Christmas seriously. Wow. This is too cool. Breakfast is ready.
What?
I got a taco here called Lengua del Reyes. It's actually a cow tongue taco. My sister suggested that to me, so I'm going to try that and review that. Yeah. Caveros, rancheros with bacon. Of course, the Mexican coffee. Okay, so I just got out of that Mexican restaurant, and that was some really good breakfast. And I got to tell you, that taco I had, the meat that was actually in that taco was actually cow tongue. Yeah, my sister suggested it, so I tried it. I added a little eggs and a little salsa on it. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. So right now, I am at Little Market Street that's right behind the restaurant. And as you can see right behind me, there are all the flags here. And there's a beautiful Christmas tree down this direction. So why don't we go ahead and check it out. Here we are down this market right here. Look at that. And the market square's got this beautiful Christmas tree. That is really cool. We got some more Catholicism statues here by the Christmas tree. Got some caricature action here. Look at that, we got Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey as Dumb and Dumber. Got the stage set up for something awesome here. A rooster. Snowman. Look at that. Got a little art museum here, free admission to go check it out. The story of U.S. Latino experience. That mural over there. We're gonna make our way back into the market, but just want to kind of get a feel, a little bit of this part of San Antonio. Made my way over to the El Mercado at Market Square. Let's go ahead and check this out. Oh man. Hey, check it out. It's a Christmas llama. Remember you saw this in Cohutta? Fa la 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 llama. Got a skeleton man covered in Christmas lights. We got a little guy here. There's ponchos. You can't get any more Texas than the Longhorns horns. A whole bunch of shot glasses here. A little shot glass set. Chessboards. And shot glass boots made out of either alligator skin or rattlesnake skin. And of course, don't forget about the wrestling masks. It's always a guardian angel looking over your shoulder. Oh, I like this one. That's a good one. Got a little Coco in Marvel. That's so cool. A lot of skeletons. This one's an interesting one here. Even though it's Christmas, Halloween is always around the corner next year. And check it out here. These are actually piggy banks. Gordo piggy banks. In Spanish, gordo means big or fat. Little beautiful rock collection here of jades and crystals. I really like this hat here. Don't worry, be happy. It's cool. I decided to try on a poncho. Ponchos are 50% off right in this rack. Not gonna buy it, but I want to feel festive in San Antonio. I think it's time for a particular tasty treat. You can get it at Magic Kingdom, but also here at Market Square in San Antonio. Alrighty friends, fresh from the fryer, a churro. Oh yeah. Very delicious. So this building right ahead of us, kind of zoom in right here so you can see better. That is called the Tower of Americas, built in 1968. It's actually a rotating restaurant. I thought it was another Space Needle because there's one in Seattle, Washington, and in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but I think that's pretty cool. See a little bit of this history here. But it is not a Space Needle, it's a restaurant. I came across a historical landmark here. It's called the Old Henry House. We got a little information here. Okay, so here's some information of the Old Henry House. Pause if you want to read. Typical of the homes of the early German settlers, this two-bedroom dwelling was built by John Cush about 1855. It originally stood on the South Presa Street It was occupied in 1895 through 1896 by William Sidney Porter, who gained national renown as the short story writer O. Henry. Here he issued a weekly humorous newspaper, the Rolling Stone. Interesting. In 1960, the structure was moved to this location by the Cush family and the Lone Star Brewing Company. A little more information, just pause if you want to read some more. The old Henry House, my friends. I will bring up another fact about San Antonio, another famous person that's actually from the city. Have you guys heard of Spy Kids, Machete, and Shark Boy and Lava Girl? Well, director Robert Rodriguez is from the city. Just a little fun fact there. We came across a little history over here, and entering the Riverwalk with all these really cool murals here. A little bit of history as well, where all this took place. Pause if you want to read. Got a bust of none other than the amazing President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the good neighbor and an honor to those who, like him, and died for freedom. Let none forget that they gave all their faltered not when they came to the call. You can find this on Flores and Dorosa Street. Gotta love the architecture of big cities. And looks like we got a little monument up there. It looks like a soldier praying to Jesus. I'm gonna zoom in here. I see that. Or it could be Saint Mary. I believe I'm in the heart of downtown San Antonio right now. I love the design of this Catholic church. It is a beautiful church. Look at that. The names of the Alamo heroes are inside the chapel at the left-hand side of the entrance of the cathedral. Alright, let's go check it out. Here lies the remains of Travis Crockett Bowie and others Alamos. Here lies the remains of Travis Crockett Bowie and other Alamo heroes of San Antonio, erected in 1938. Good old heroes right here. Travis Crockett Bowie. Look at that. Make my way inside the cathedral. I gotta be very quiet in here. Look at those beautiful stained glasses. Oh, look at that. Now I gotta tell you, that cathedral, that was pretty awesome. I haven't been in a place so quiet in a long time. But wow, that was cool. Got the old Aztec Theater here. Part of the architecture here, you can see some Native American heads up the sky. Banks. Some access to the Riverwalk this way. Later on, I think we're gonna go on a boat ride later with my family. But we're gonna make our way to the elevator in a second. Get a better look at this. Nice little bridge. Better looking. Walking by the Hard Rock Cafe. Rock and Roll Santa.
Like pickle. Looks like a pickle.
A little more of the Riverwalk down here. Guys, there's the Rainforest Cafe, and what blows my mind, it's in one of these older buildings. Oh yeah, I like that. You'll make your way to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. But really, we're gonna head over to the Alamo. Toribio Lozoya. I don't know if I want to mess with that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Alamo. I cannot believe it. We are at the Alamo. Huge part of American history here. Can't wait to see more about this. This is so cool. And the Alamo is guarded by a man that needs no introduction. Great American hero and Alamo defender, Davy Crockett. I am at the Alamo. It's so cool. And here we are at the Alamo. I'm gonna pause if you want to read. Lots of information you can check out. Here's a map of the Alamo. And if we were fighting the Alamo, we would be right here. And some of the original wooden posts are right here. I just touched history. Fire! I've just fought in the Alamo. I'll make our way inside the Alamo. Thank you, Frank. Wow. So they asked us to remove our hats. A little history of the baptistry and the confessional. Pause if you want to read, but we'll make our way over here in a second. I didn't know that the Alamo had power supply. The preservation work is in progress. Here's the history. Flags of the Texas Revolution. So here's a bunch of flags of other states that represented the other states that came to help defend the Alamo. And we got the Mississippi flag here. My mom's gonna be the flag girl. There's Missouri.
Let's see that one, Missouri.
Oh yeah, New Hampshire. And of course, New York. Pennsylvania. All right. Ohio. North Carolina. All right. And we got Rhode Island and South Carolina over here. All right. So I guess these people here that helped fight are also honorary Texans. And there's a few other states we missed here. We got Virginia, Vermont, and Tennessee. Yay! And here we are, everything else about the Alamo, what we're looking at here.
Some of the other slaves were also spared, but in Mexico, slavery was illegal, so Santa Anna also viewed it as if you had taken up the arms.
The heroes of the Alamo: Travis, Bowie, Crockett, Bonham. Here is the former mayor of San Antonio, Juan Seguin. There's William Travis, one of the heroes that defended the Alamo. Yeah, James Bowie. John William Smith of El Colorado. Don't want to be kicked by that horse. There's even some females that defended the Alamo. There was even some women that helped defend the Alamo, such as Emily West Morgan, also known as the Yellow Rose of Texas. And there's that yellow rose and a canteen. And Hendrik Arnold, spy of the Texas Revolution. Awesome. I came across this Deja Blue vending machine, and I came across this, all sport drinks. I remember these when I was a kid, and I was going to buy one to see if they're still available, and they said they've sold out. Anyone remembers those? Those are definitely a 90s icon drink. Leave a comment below. There are the mission period of the Alamo. It started out from 1710. I'll kind of drag it along the side, so pause if you want to read any of this. Decline of the Spanish rule. Struggle for independence.
Oh no! We're like, well, we're screwed. At least he went out with a sick one.
Birth of the Texas Republic. The wind is starting to start. The wind is blowing so strong right now. I'm really regretting not bringing an extra jacket with me. Oh my gosh, this is Texas wind. There's just so much information to kind of soak in. What you get in this part of the Alamo, on the inside, at the very end, you can go see a movie and some extra history, and that gentleman there will tell you some history of how they treated medical conditions over there. And over here, I really wanted to go show this to you, show you the layers of rock Check this out. The number 22 is the floor of 1724, all the way to number 1, which is the current floor that we're standing on right now. Got a little out of focus for a second. There we go. So the very bottom of there, that is basically the original flooring of the Alamo right down here. It just makes its way up to everything, to where we're standing on right today. Just amazes me. I gotta say, that was quite an experience at the Alamo, and I shall forever remember it. I'll make my way down here into access of the Riverwalk. Waterfall action. Ooh, that's cold. A beautiful waterfall. Ripley's Car Gold gift shop. Oh, got a little mist coming out of there. The design of this. Here's some music happening. This is really pretty. We out here. Fountain extends into this building here. We got locks on the bridge. I have never seen so many ducks in one state before. Looks like they got the boats operating. Hey, look, a British pub. Decided to go ahead and grab a snack at the Mad Dog British Pub. Pretty quaint environment here. They even got little icicles on their bar here. That's so cool. I put in an order for a beer brewed locally here in San Antonio. I believe it's called the Alamo Bock. And here it is, my friends, the Alamo Bock beer from the Alamo Brewing Company. They actually put it in a Yingling glass. That's kind of funny and ironic. Cheers, my friends. Very interesting. It's alright. I've had better beers. Little history of Mad Dogs here. World famous since 1894. Enough said. The Mad Dog's little Mini Cooper and a Christmas tree guarded by these Mexican soldiers. Now, I'll tell you what I got to eat at this particular pub. I actually got a burger I split with my wife because I really wasn't that hungry because I had a really big breakfast this morning at the Mexican breakfast place. But I gotta tell you, that was a pretty tasty burger. And I think I take back what I said about the Alamo beer. It was actually pretty decent pairing up with the burger. So it wasn't terrible. And that burger was fantastic. So the beer kind of made up for itself, pairing it with the burger. I gotta tell you, it's getting pretty cold out. The wind finally died down, but I think it's time for a boat ride. Join this Riverwalk. Okay, so we just got our tickets and we got on the boats. It is brutally cold out, but this is what makes fun content.
That's all right.
Go under this bridge and enjoy a good time. Woo! So cold. With it being this cold, I mean, I rode roller coasters in 30-degree weather not too long ago, so this really should be no problem.
It was fair. We realized we needed another large hotel, but didn't have a lot of time to get it done, okay? So there was a local contractor by the name of H.B. Zachary that said, give me that job. I'll get that hotel done in time for the fair, okay? It's going to have to be a rush job, but I'll get it done. So what he did is he starts building the first 4 floors of the hotel, okay, like you build any other. But 8 miles south of us, in a yard, he's making these gigantic concrete boxes. Concrete boxes the size of hotel rooms, all right? So when those boxes were ready, he starts putting all the hotel room stuff in it. You know, he puts down the carpet, drapes, mirrors, pictures, brings in all the furniture, the linen, pillows, soap in the bathroom. He put Bibles in the bedside table, okay? Well, okay, now he's got rooms, they're 8 miles away. So he trucks them here and then with a crane starts lifting these complete rooms and stacking them on that initial 4-story structure, okay? Look right here at the Palacio del Rio Hotel. You'll see the first 4 floors, then you start seeing boxes. Boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes. 500 of them, okay? You know, initially they thought if they could do about 10 rooms a day, they'd probably make it in time for the fair. But they got real good at it, and now they're doing about 20 a day, okay? And in a world record time of 202 days, start to finish, they're done, you know?
Wow.
I live in a kind of a new part of San Antonio, way west, and they've been making a Taco Bell for a year. It's not open, you know, but they got this 500 hotel done in less than 8 months. That's the story of the Palacio del Rio. Boats start sinking, here's what you're going to do. Panic, okay? Work your way back here, get a life jacket on, get to the edge here, kind of do a little barrel roll into the water, stand up, walk to the side, it's like 30 feet deep, okay? All right, my name's Captain Pete. We're going to be together for the next 30 minutes or so as we make our way around our beautiful San Antonio Riverwalk. And this, you know, if you didn't know, this is the natural flow of the San Antonio River. You know, we did not dig a trench. We did not fill it with water. This is not Disneyland. The boat's not on a track, okay? This is the actual San Antonio River as it has flowed for thousands of years. And here on my left is where San Antonio started, La Villita, or Little Village. Starting in 1722, Spanish soldiers were here in this area. They were here guarding the 5 Spanish missions, now one you now know as the Alamo. And folks started building homes and stuff. So this was our first neighborhood right here. It's not that anymore. It's now dining, shopping, you know, that sort of thing. We're passing through the Arneson River Theater. Now, the Arneson River Theater opened up in 1941 like the rest of the Riverwalk. About 800 people can sit up there on my left and watch a performance here on this little stage here on my right. And maybe you have seen a performance on that stage, because if you've ever seen the movie Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock was up on that stage during the swimsuit competition. And as far as we know, that is the only theater in the world where the audience is separated from the stage by an actual river. All along our Riverwalk, you will see large cypress trees. Large cypress trees, like this one here on my left. This one right in front of us here, that could be about 250 years old. This one about 300. What I'm getting at is I'm going to let these folks go back in here. What I'm getting at is that these trees have been growing along the banks of the San Antonio River for a whole lot longer than we've had a river walk. Gargoyles up there? See the gargoyles sticking their heads and necks out up there? I mean, don't get all excited. That is not the building for Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Okay? But it does have gargoyles. And it also has what we call grotesques. And if you look here to the left here, above the trees, below the windows, like those scary faces, those are called grotesques. Now, the owner of the building wanted grotesques, and he also wanted gargoyles because he felt that they would keep evil spirits and bad business away from the building. Keep bad business away. So, the building opens up in 1929. Everybody's all excited about that. It's the tallest building in town. It's that cool Gothic design. There's no other building like it, but they are going to make more. Well, I mentioned it opened in 1929. Anybody know what else happened in 1929? The Great Depression? We had the stock market crash leading into that depression. Well, the guy that owns that building now finds himself in financial trouble to the point he has to sell it. Okay. He just spent $3 million having it built, and all he's getting back $300,000. So, the gargoyles didn't do their job. Stone steps going up, and about 150 yards out, you'll see 2 stone towers with pitched roofs. That is the cathedral. It is the oldest church in Texas. It is beautiful inside and out. And if you have the opportunity, if you find yourself here on the west side of the Riverwalk, do go over there. Again, it's beautiful day. Straight in front of you, you see a very large cypress tree right there in that corner next to the beige building, right in front of the boat. That is the largest tree on our Riverwalk. It is over 90 feet tall, over 25 feet around, and it could be as much as 1,000 years old. All right, right in front of me is that other floodgate I was talking about. Right in front of me is another floodgate. Notice the one I showed you came down up from the bottom? This one drops down from the top. Look up high and you'll see some gears and motors and stuff like that. Well, it slides down through those slots on the sides of the pillars there. If the gate weighs a couple of tons, if it came down on our boat, it would sink us for sure. We test it every afternoon at 4:55. So if you're around, you can see how it works. In 1921, we had a big flood. So much so, over 50 people killed, millions in damage. And at that time, we went, we need some sort of flood control system. So, if you look here on the left, the building right now is the Drury Inn and Suites. But in 1921, that was the City Public Service Building. And if you look up there at the second level, you'll see some light fixtures. The floodwaters were touching those light fixtures. On my right is the Esquire Tavern. The Esquire Tavern opened up in 1933, right at the end of Prohibition. That is the oldest bar on the Riverwalk, and it features the longest wooden bar in Texas at 108 feet. Coming up on my right is the Aztec Theater. The Aztec Theater opened up in 1926. At the time, it showed silent movies. It even had the piano player, accompanying the action that was taking place on the screen. Well, it found itself in some disrepair, needed to be renovated. And it's back, showing live performances of all sorts. Now, the architect of our Riverwalk, a guy by the name of Robert Hutt. You ever see that movie? 1997, Jennifer Lopez. Very young Jennifer Lopez. And there was a scene in that movie where that very young Jennifer Lopez was sitting right here, sitting right there on top of that bridge. In that scene, Jennifer Lopez's character had just gotten married. You know, it was back in the days when Jennifer Lopez was kind of an amateur at getting married. On my left is the Mansion, a luxury hotel that opened up in 1968. But parts of that building go back over 100 years before that. Starting in 1853, that was the St. Mary's boarding school for boys. After that, a couple of different versions of St. Mary's University. Everybody look at Bubba Gump Restaurant. Everybody look at Bubba Gump Restaurant, okay? All right. Now, everybody look on top of Bubba Gump Restaurant, way up high. See that random 23-story wall? Yeah, that looks weird. Well, it's not quite what you think it is. Whoa, I'm getting blown around a little bit. I'll let this cat go by. Yes, sir. Whoa. There we go. Well, anyway, no, that is not just a wall. There's other walls attached to it. That's kind of a little optical illusion as we go by. That is the former Mixed Hospital, NIX, that opened in 1930. At the time, it was the tallest hospital in the country. Literally the coolest hospital in the country, because it was the only building like that that had air conditioning. It has been closed for a few years, but it's coming back as a hotel. Right in front of the boat is the Hyatt Regency Hotel. The Hyatt opened up in 1981. A little bit of controversy with the Hyatt, because on the other side of the Hyatt is the Alamo. The Alamo's on the other side of the Hyatt. Behind me is the west, where the sun sets. So, before they started building that hotel, local folks are going like, hey, hold on a minute. How high are you going to go? And they're like, Hyatt's going like, why? It's like, well, because when the sun sets at night, your building cannot cast a shadow on the Alamo. That would be disrespectful to the defenders. So the Hyatt folks went, you know what? Okay, we're down with that. So they did test. The Hyatt did test. How high can we go and not cast a shadow on the Alamo? And they determined 16 stories. So that's why the Hyatt stopped at 16 stories. So the architect of the Riverwalk went, okay, and relocated his office right here to the base of this cylindrical building on my right, the former Riverside building built in 1895. See some plaques there. You see Robert Hudman's name up on the balcony. The message he was trying to send out was like, hey, look, I built a flood control system. The Riverwalk will not flood. It is safe. I'll put my business down. You know, you all do the same. Now, the first restaurant on the Riverwalk is this one we're passing right now, Casarillo. Casarillo opened up in 1946, still owned by the same family. On my left, right here on the street, left of the boat, on the street, you'll see a twisty, turning red thing. That is the Torch of Friendship. That is a gift to us from our friends in Mexico. An artist by the name of Sebastian created that. It's been up there since 2002. All right, all this time we have been on the natural flow of the San Antonio River. Well, now we aren't. We are heading into what we call the man-made extension. This was built in time to get people to and from that World's Fair we had in 1968. And in 1968, Bear County had an about 700,000 people. San Antonio was, a good-sized, mid-sized U.S. city, but not a major world city. And in many cases, that's who was getting the World's Fair. New York, Chicago, London, Paris, Montreal. But we got it, and we really took advantage of that. 30 nations took part in our World's Fair, 15 corporations. And over the stretch of the 6-month run of the World's Fair, 7 million people came to San Antonio, 10 times our population. And that, a lot of those folks went home with literally a good taste in their mouth in regards to San Antonio. They probably went home and, said to their friends, like, wow, have you ever had a breakfast taco? So that launched us into what we are today, a city where our #1 industry is tourism, hospitality. Our Riverwalk was recently named the 5th most beautiful thing in the country. I finished number 12. When you approach downtown, you no doubt saw our signature structure, our Tower of the Americas. See it there off in the distance on the right? That observation tower. Well, that was right in the middle of all the World's Fair stuff, okay? All the World's Fair stuff was right around that. The tower is 750 feet to the top of the antenna. There's a restaurant that makes a revolution once per hour. There's a observation deck up there. And yeah, you could go up there. I've been up there, had a couple of meals. One of my first dates with my wife, we went up there. For 26 years, it was the tallest observation tower in the country. What replaced it as the tallest is the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. Right in front of the boat is our beautiful stargazer. Doesn't she look great? Yeah. She looks awesome right there at that intersection, right? So awesome you think, like, wow, she's been there for a long time because she just looks perfect there. Well, no, she's been there since February. She's made completely out of black volcanic rock, with the exception of that little star she's holding, which is white marble. An artist by the name of Pedro Reyes created her. Another gift to us from Mexico. And if you look at her back from this angle here, she's like some sort of, Kim Kardashian Instagram. It has all sorts of things for kids to do in there. If you look down in the lower right corner, you see some feathers, some bungee jumping. Up high, there's some stuff to climb on. Theaters, including an IMAX theater. There's an aquarium in there. There's a Lego land in there. And I've lived in San Antonio for 22 years. How many times do you think I have been in River Center Mall? How many times?
0.
0. I've never been in there. I got a wife who makes me go to the mall, But here in San Antonio, we're now the 7th largest city in the country. We got a bunch of malls, so, I pass a bunch of malls before I get to this. Pablo is a little town in Portugal. He is a saint from Portugal in the 12th century. He's the patron saint of children. That's why he has that little child. And that was a gift to us from Portugal during the World's Fair that was here in 1968. Right in front of the boat, you'll see that Tower Life building. Remember the one that was not in Gulf Boat? Ghostbusters? My mouth is cold. You can actually see the gargoyles from here. For 60 years, that was the tallest building in San Antonio. Now the tallest building is that one right behind me, the Marriott River Center Hotel. Getting back to all that German immigration in the mid-1800s, and there was a bunch of it, as I've mentioned. Here on the right, if you look up high on the right, you'll see that church spire up there. That sits on top of St. Joseph's Catholic Church. St. Joseph's was built in 1868 by members of our community that had recently immigrated from Germany. So why all that German immigration? What was going on? We're back in Germany at that time. They had just finished a war. There was some religious and political persecution going on. Some folks were just looking for somewhere else to be. Here in Texas, we needed people. We needed people here. We had a lot of land, not a lot of people living on it. In many cases, the land was very inexpensive, sometimes free. And there were actually businesses in Germany that, you know, specialized in getting folks from Germany to here. Germans were the largest ethnic group immigrating to Texas at that time, followed by people from Czechoslovakia and Poland.
That was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that riverboat tour. You know, even Pete doing a great job. It kept my mind off the cold as we were on that boat because it was so cold. It still is really cold here. But man, that was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that tour. But I think it's time to go ahead and get a little warmed up and time to end this long journey that we had today. So very cool. Just to give you guys an example of how cold it is right now in San Antonio, that is the heat coming out of the hotel. And that is, you know how it's warm and cold meets? That's the fog coming out right over the river here. We're getting warmed up in the hotel right now, and just seeing this just blows my mind of how cold it really is in Texas, 2022. And that, my friends, was the San Antonio Town Exploration Vlog. That was a lot of fun to do, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this particular episode. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, if you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next ice-cold Texas adventure. Eat well and keep your mind walking. I'll see you guys later. And just to give a heads up to the people, if you ever need to use the bathroom and you need to say it in Spanish, it's el baño. Just remember that.